about really simple syndication, also known as RSS. And Google Reader is my choice. It doesn't have to be yours. Everything I'm going to talk about today, there are a dozen others. I'm just using my experience of having whittled it down to give you what I think is the best one. If you don't like mine, call me. I'll give you 5 others you can go try. Google Reader, though, is just about the coolest things in sliced bread. As you can see, there's characters, categories underneath subscriptions. So there's a category for advertising. This is one of my art directors, Google Readers. He was the one putting the slides together a while back. So you can pick it and put it however you want. So you can just go get restaurant-related RSS. And when you do, you can then break them up into different markets or different categories. You can have everything in one. It can't just be about you. You have to represent some of the thoughts of other people in your organization. Ask them. Surveys are a fun thing to do in a blog, and Google has a tool for that. But it's fun because people then get to voice their opinion, and they get to be a part of it, and they check back to see the answers. So you can work it that way. The idea is to just make it engaging and interesting, because ultimately you're providing a place for conversations, and that's what's so important. All of these things, the website and the blog is what we would call home base, okay? That's what we're inviting the people in to see. In the rest of the presentation is going to be about when we send the word out for them to come. When we go out onto the land through Facebook and Twitter and your business cards and your brochures and your own comments on other people's blogs, that's when you spread the word about what you're doing. When it's digged and stumbled upon and tagged as being delicious and technorati, there's all of these bookmarks. And so let's just say, for example, that Sally is writing a blog about the greatness of Natchez at Christmas and all of the different Christmas things. That's when I was saying that the first thing all of you need to do as citizens of Natchez, and tell your friends, is to become subscribers to her blog. So she writes it, or one of you write it. It doesn't. Who writes it isn't the point. Isn't the point, and whose blog it is isn't the point. If it is something great about this city as a whole, or an aspect of this city that is more than just mine, then you all need to know, and you all need to jump on that bandwagon, and you all need to post it on your Facebook page and repeat it on your Twitter account, and you all of a sudden have this party line to the world. And so you tell your friends, and you tell your friends, and you tell your friends, and all of a sudden, we're going to talk about connections in just a minute, if I put something up on my LinkedIn account, for example, and I post some sort of update on my website, and most of the people that are my connections will do the same thing to theirs, that's 635,000 people. I'm going to say that one more time. 635,000. If half of my people tell half of their people, and half again. 635. Who wants to pay for a TV ad that reaches 635,000 people right now? And I've only got like 70 followers. It's not like I have thousands, by any means. I only have 150 people maybe following me on Twitter. But all my people have 150, and their people have 150, and one of them probably has 5,000. And so all of a sudden, it just grows. And we really will, I'll do this whole little thing I just said again in a minute with more detail. But that's what you use. But you first have to build the base before you can go out and tell the people. Scott Monty, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for Ford Motor Cars, I'm sorry, it's the Chief Social Marketing Officer for Ford Motor Cars. And he's at Scott Monty, if you decide to start Twittering and want to go check him out. Nice guy. So he was talking about, in his Twitter profile, about Ford, and obviously they've had some good days lately. And he found this one little bright spot in his bucket of lemons, which is that they gained market share, and they were the only car company to gain market share in December. And so I wrote back, congratulations. I said, do you attribute that to the Ford Flex, which is a new vehicle that they put out? And he wrote me right back, because yeah, actually we do. We think the Flex has been really helpful in this. And I was like, Scott Monty's talking about it. I mean, if you're talking about dream clients for a branding agency, that's it. So I wrote back, and I was like, great. I said, you know, it's funny, a lot of my friends really like them, and we're all import car owners. Have you seen that be a trend? He wrote right back. He said, yeah, we have a huge conversion. 55% of our Ford Flex buyers were previously import owners. I said, well, were you targeting women? I'd like to put myself in a category these days, 34 plus, with kids. Was that something you were aiming for? And he said, no, it's been a happy side effect. We had this conversation, in Twitter words conversation, over the course of the Thanksgiving holidays, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, he knows me. He went around my blog, he checked out my website. It's the coolest thing ever. I mean, think about that. What people would you love to have access to? Travel planners, maybe? Restaurant food critics, perhaps? That you could never call them and say, hey, pay attention to me for a second, please. I need to talk to you about something. And yet here, it's all good. It is an amazing, think about being at a convention. And the speaker finishes their speech, which is the blog, and gets off the stage and mingles in the crowd. And you can go up and say, hey, that was really great. I enjoyed what you said. Have you seen blah, 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 or have you ever thought about them? And you begin a conversation with them. That's what this is like. The chief marketing officer for Best Buy would never take my phone call, I promise. Yet, when his holiday campaign launched, I was able to send him a message through Twitter talking about how great I liked it. I think he thought I was just, shining him on, so he asked me which spot I liked the best, and I immediately knew. And we talked about the use of testimonials and how they used it versus how it's normally used. Big old long conversation. Now, I mean, it's not like he hired me or anything, but the point is, he knows my name. There is a sense of awareness now. And if he continues to come across me, that top of mind awareness is so important in my business, that becoming aware at all that is so important is established.